moment for me, space to myself, space to breathe.
Now, bless now, people. Don't forget the rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. Not King of the Pit TV, alright? It's not that time of night. We listen to Immolation today. Or tonight, should I say. It's 1 in the morning, people. It's 1 in the morning. Sipping. I'm just 1 beer down. Just a pint can. Enjoying myself. Enjoying a lager at the weekend. 10 tracks. Dawn of Possession. I think the fan on my laptop's going a little bit mad. I might need to cool this baby down. Dawn of Possession is what we listen to. The debut by Immolation. Yeah, I got shook there. You see me? It was a good record. It wasn't my taste of metal, right? It's death metal. We know this by now. Death metal, I'm a punk head. So I want to see some crossover. This was more of a heavy metal, death metal band. Although, it was pretty thrashing in some places. That being said, it's better than Bolt Thrower's debut, I'll tell you that. This was very well produced. This record, without having a full grasp of the broad spectrum that was early 90s death metal, this band came with a sound that I could understand if anybody was to call it a classic. Incredibly consistent, focused, concentrated, tight. Never strays from the sound. And that sound is as pure of a death metal sound as I've heard. The guitar work. Tremolo picked one line riffing. Heavy metal laden pirate ship rhythm, guitar lines and drumming. The drummer had fills for days. The drummer was incorporating rhythm and ideas on that kit as to which I have never heard. Ever. The production of the drum kit was organic. The kick in particular, so clear, so punchy yet so real. The studio magic existed because the production was clear and really complimentary of the band, but we weren't listening to some like newfangled sci-fi tech band. We were listening to a traditional death metal epic. And the production worked in collaboration with the band and the songwriters and created a great product. The vocals, you're either going to love them or hate them. If you hate them, you're in for a bad ride because the vocals are just consistent. There's no highs. It's just just Cookie Monster through and through. My headphones aren't great for bass lines and, you know, highlighting bass frequencies when there's, you know, the whole coverage of the spectrum, but I couldn't pick out too much bass guitar. I don't think the bassist got given the time to shine, unfortunately. Not one time throughout this record, which kind of sucks. It really sucks. I don't like it when bands do that. I do not like it when bands do that. I like the bassist to have their time. But altogether, this band was really good. Where do I go from here? Generally, we're sort of within the tempo of, let's say 60 to 80%. Actually, let's say 50 to 80%. We don't go so far. It's very rare that we get a blast beat. It's rare that we get a blast beat. I wasn't picking them up really. By the time we got to what I considered or consciously sort of focused on being the first blast beat, we must have been 4 tracks in. Which isn't a bad thing really, you know. I think the quality of a blast beat really comes down to how well the production is. If the production allows the blast to have clarity, then I think it's really exciting to listen to. If the timbre of the drums give it that, and it did on this record. Because there's alright being extreme metal, but sometimes things could just be a bit too cluttered and noisy for it to be an enjoyable audio experience. For me, at least. Ten tracks. Could it be 8 tracks? Possibly, because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There's such a consistency throughout the record. I would argue you could remove 1 or 2 tracks and not have it make a difference. And I want to open a discussion with the death metal fans here, because I'm a fan of extreme music and I've listened to this since a long time now. Like, extreme music is not a problem, man. But I still wouldn't necessarily be able to decipher one track from another when it comes to this traditional death metal stuff, for the most part. Are we just highlighting riffs? Do you like the songwriting? Do you like a particular riff that stands out to you? Does it all come down to a particular section which you think is cool? Or is it the song as a whole? Or is it something else? Let me ask you that, because to me, do you know when people say, oh, it all sounds the same? Like, people who are outside of this culture say, oh, it all sounds the same. And like, some metalheads would say, oh, all electronic music sounds the same, or all pop music sounds the same, right? Even though I've got my ear to the ground, I can feel that way with this sort of music from time to time. I couldn't tell you one song from the other on the record. Now, let me give this a rating out of 10. Did I enjoy it more than Morbid Angel's Altars of Madness? I'll say it edged it. I'll say it just a little bit more so. I'll say just a bit more so. Did I enjoy it more than Deicide's debut? No. No, I didn't. Did I enjoy it more than Cannibal Corpse's debut? Possibly. Possibly. Now, I don't know what I've rated them records, but on this experience by itself, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Not down to where I believe it stands in metal, because it's clearly a great record, but just through my own personal experience. I'm not going to return to this. I'm going to go to sleep tonight. Well, I don't even need to go to sleep. I've forgotten the record already, to be honest with you. It was an okay listening experience. It was an easy listening experience, but there was no hook. There was nothing. There was nothing to bring me back to this record. Simple as. And on that note, I'm signing out. So peace. One love.